everyone. Welcome to the Lidocaine Drip.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jess, and we'll be your host for today.
And always.
We're not really organized on this podcast.
Not organized at all.
But we're going to have fun along the way.
You know, we're here to talk about what you may be thinking throughout the day and don't say, or what you do say and get in trouble for saying. That's usually what I do.
In all seriousness, we made this podcast to combat mental health issues in veterinary medicine.
Mental health in general.
And we're here to inject humor into the darkness of our lives.
Very dark, very, very dark lives.
So let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in again. It's Jess and Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, sorry I said your name that time. I wasn't sure if you were going to go through. Because you have a case of the giggles.
Yeah, I'm a little over it now, so don't worry.
All right, so I guess somebody's not amused. Hopefully you all enjoyed the first episode and got to know us a little bit better, even though we kind of veered.
Had a little bit too much wine, or I did.
Yeah,
but.
well, we did, yeah, but it wasn't the straightest path of conversation that we took. Kind of just
went all over the place. A little, like we said, it was a little disorganized, a little not planned, but we made it through, or I made it through.
We're going to hopefully try to do a little bit better and have some structure moving forward. But I think, like we said, we wanted to start this just to kind of inject humor into the darkness of our lives, as we say.
And this week has been pretty dark.
This week's been pretty dark.
Been pretty rough.
Well, let's start out with, a little mental health check-in. So,
well, first, let's hold that thought. We waited specifically, or I know I've been waiting to start the wine. So that's going to be our weekly tradition.
Right.
So let's open up the wine. This time we'll be starting the first bottle of wine and not on our second bottle.
Only if you
only got a little bit of problem with the wine here. All right, well, we're having problems with the
your wine.
Crappy wine opener, but it used to be... All right, here we go. There we go. Perfect. Here we go. I'll pour you some. Hopefully I won't spill it.
Wonderful. All right, that's like
great.
half the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You just go with it.
A bottle is only 2 glasses of wine. 2 large glasses, if you really think about it.
I guess it's what your definition of a glass is, right?
Yep. I always tell my mom I have 1 glass of wine a night.
All right, well,
she
cheers.
doesn't know it's 2 huge goblets.
Well, now she does.
Yeah, now she does.
Thanks, Kevin's
cheers.
mom.
Yep.
All right. Well, and on that note, I guess let's just start in with our little mental health check-in. So at the beginning of our episodes moving forward, we're just going to kind of start off with that and just give you a couple minutes of, facts or things you can do for stress management, or you know what, you can just say, screw it, and advance whatever 3 or 4 minutes forward. And you don't even have to listen to this part if it really rubs you the wrong way.
Mm.
So with that, Kevin, how are you doing today?
Not good.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just another day. Just another day living my life. But, number one reason I'm not good is I came home, I went grocery shopping, walked the dog, did all my adult duties, went on a run. And I went to get like a nice glass of water, put the water pitcher back in the fridge, and somehow I managed to take my hand and push the whole water pitcher over into the fridge, and it created like a waterfall down every level of the fridge racks. And so it got everywhere, and it even went so far as to go outside the fridge onto the ground and go underneath the fridge and then a little bit in front. So I had to go and get my 1 clean towel I have left to shower with, and I had to wipe up all the water. Yep, I had to wipe up all the water, waste the towel, and then I had no water to drink. So that's a little bit where I'm at right now. That happened maybe about a half hour ago, so not really over it.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Hopefully you won't have any waterfalls in your near future, unless they're the good kinds, like TLC.
Mm-hmm. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, don't go chasing waterfalls. That's right. You can just, say that whenever you're in your kitchen from now on.
Yeah. How are you doing? Am I supposed to ask you how you're doing now?
I mean, only if you want to, but...
Yeah, how are you doing? You're my elder. I should ask you how I'm doing. Respect
You're elder?
I know, 2 years. It's
my
a good amount.
God. Oh, why would you say that to me? Anyway, all joking aside, it's been a little rough the past couple weeks. Been more stressed than usual, and I'm doing the best I can, and I guess that's all you can say. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, I'm more surviving at this point rather than thriving. I think
all life is surviving, isn't it? If you think about it.
Yeah, but
we're surviving since the day we get popped out of the womb.
That's true, but I think that what I'm trying to say is in some aspects of my life right now, I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I'm not necessarily all there because I'm burnt out from my job, and I'm burnt out from all of the expectations I put on myself, which I think is a huge component of it.
Like adding a podcast to your life, like when you have enough to do already?
Yeah, it's, not that it's easy to find time for it, but I know this is only episode 2, but I enjoy it so far. It's a fun little hobby, and I enjoy learning more about it. And
I can talk for days. So, for me, it's just like, I can find time to talk whenever the hell I want.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I enjoy, seeing what this is going to grow into, and it's actually a welcome distraction.
It's going to blossom into.
Yeah, it will blossom.
A nice little seed turning into a flower.
Yeah. So I guess, in terms of what you can do if you're being really stressed out right now, do you have any tips for anybody out there?
I was just going to say, I hate every day I get home from work or school or whatever you want to call it, and I'm so exhausted. I just want to sit on the couch. I don't want to get up to have to make food. I don't want to do all my adult responsibilities. I want my mom here and my parents' house with all the groceries and unlimited fattening foods everywhere that you can chips and cookies and ice cream and everything you want. I love these Stacy's pita chips are the best pita chip.
Oh, which flavor?
Plain.
I like the jalapenos.
No, plain. Plain, and you dip it in some sour cream.
Sour cream?
You'd be surprised. I actually have gotten 3 people at least addicted to that combo, so you should try it. Maybe we'll have one time.
Okay.
So anyway, I come home, and then my dog and my cat, my dog is so excited to see me. She's flipping out, doing cartwheels. I think she's going to have a heart attack because she's so old. And she's basically panting so hard that she's wheezing, and I'm calm down, and I'm stressed out because I'm so tired, and then I'm you know what? Take 5 minutes and be happy. And so I fake it, and I'm oh, hi, how are you? I'm so excited to see you. And inside I'm dying, and I'm this is taking so much effort to do this. And it's but I got to do it for her. She's been sitting here plopped on the couch, staring out the window, wondering when I'm going to come back. So anyway, what I do is I walk her every day and make myself, it's a loop. It's a 25-minute loop because she's so slow. Literally, it's just around the block right here. It's probably a quarter of a mile, not even half a mile. But I walk her, and by the time the walk is done, I feel better as I've left my phone usually at the apartment. And then I walk her, and I'm out in the trees, and I'm seeing people out in their yards, and I say hi to people, and she's walking and trotting along. And by the end of the walk, I'm always in a better mood, no matter how angry I was the whole entire day. So
good. So your tip for stress management is get outside or move. Yeah,
if you have a pet or I think it's a good incentive to get outside and move and be out in nature. And they say being out in nature, helps improve your clarity and your quality of life. So
absolutely,
if you have a pet, it's a reason to already push yourself and maybe walk them a little further than you normally would. And then maybe also by doing that, you're going to be helping yourself. So that's my tip.
I think that's a great tip.
And I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist or anything.
No, I guess we should preface that by saying we're doctors, but not that kind.
That's what I do to help my peace of mind, when I have a bad week, which is every week.
Okay. Well, hopefully that does get better for you in the future, but I think that's a great tip, and I think that's something that, most people have a pet or know somebody who has a pet. And if you don't go to an animal shelter and walk dogs there. There's lots of dogs that need love.
Or adopt one and take one home.
Yeah, that too. You could do that. Shout out to shelters.
Shout out. I think it'd be a good goal to take home a new pet every 6 to 8 months.
Well, yeah, but then eventually you just become a hoarder.
No, but then as time goes on, it's just a constant cycle, a circulating cycle,
The circle of life.
It's you got 8 to 15 years with a dog. Cats are the better route to go if you want a longer,
that's true,
lifespan.
Yeah.
But, so what do you do? What's your tip? Do you have any?
My stress relief tip. So, I like to promote self-care and whatever that means for you. So, my thing is I really love putting on a hair mask or those Korean sheet masks.
A hair mask?
So it's just a deep conditioning treatment for all the hairs.
I had one friend talk about that. What do you? Isn't that the same thing as? I never get what a hair mask is. So
it's basically like conditioner, but you leave it on for an hour and you call it a hair mask. It's nothing fancy. But you feel you're I feel luxurious as
a L'Oreal commercial?
Yeah, exactly. Or Pantene. Or whatever.
Yeah. I like L'Oreal a little bit better, but.
Okay.
When I can afford it.
Also love those Korean sheet masks that they're basically it's folded up. Let me just set the scene for you. It's a little pouch. You open it up, and then inside is this little, it's kind of like a baby wipe material.
Yeah, where it looks like you have a cast over your face.
Yeah, well, I like to say it's kind of like putting a piece of deli meat over your face, because that's really what it reminds me of.
It never sticks.
No, not at all.
And the eye slits are always way too small.
Well, I know, but you know what? You just put that on, and you can't talk or eat anything, and you're really I wish I could drink my cup of tea I made, but I didn't think this through. But I love putting those on and just sitting down and watching TV or Netflix. So I'm really into self-care. I think that I also walk my dogs, probably not as often as I should, but.
You have how many?
Well, I have 3.
So that's a lot to handle. I can barely handle this one dog and cat.
It is. And exercise too, but I really think self-care and taking care of yourself is really important. And a lot of us, not just veterinarians, but a lot of us don't do enough of that. So that's my self-care tip. My stress relief tip is take care of yourself, whatever that means for you. If that's going to bed early or drinking more water,
Or wine.
Or wine.
I think wine could be if you have it in moderation.
Absolutely. That's what the Italians say.
I should have been born Italian, but.
Maybe next time.
Yep, maybe next time. I was trying to think of that quote today that I know. E quello che. I think that means it is what it is in Italian, remember?
That was beautiful.
I don't know if I said it right. I have it written down somewhere, but I'll have to ask Karen. Karen and me learned that quote today. Yeah. But I was going to say I'm known for putting a nice good face. What do you call it? A Korean rice mask?
Face or a sheet mask.
A Korean sheet mask, and putting it on your face the night after I go out on a Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm just laying in the bathtub, put one of those things on, send a Snapchat to someone. They think you're in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, just send the white thing. It looks like it's a white plaster cast over your face.
Oh,
look like a monster.
Baths.
But they're the most comfortable. I take a bath every day. Every day? Every day, and I shower twice a day.
Whoa. I'm
so tall and my back's always hurting, so I just something about being in warm water. Give me a hot tub or give me a warm bath and
that's
a glass of wine.
Wait, that's a really good segue to what we actually want to do, which is those immersion pods or the sensory deprivation pods. We need to do that where you basically, for those of you guys who don't know what it is, you go into this room and it's basically this large bathtub, but they put 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in the water. And what that does is it makes you buoyant, so you float. And the water temperature is the same as normal body temperature. So the idea is everything blurs and basically you don't know where your skin ends and the water begins, and it's floating and you don't hear anything and you close your eyes and it's dark, and it's supposed to be the most stress relieving thing ever. Either that or you have a panic attack because you're what's going on?
I don't know. I could go either route at this point.
You know what? I just let's just try it, and then maybe we'll podcast about it one time and tell everybody our experience.
I would love to be able to podcast from it, but that would take away from the experience probably.
Probably just a little bit. And electronics near water is usually not a good idea.
I meant if someone was there holding we would pay someone $2 an hour to hold the the recorder above us.
Well, we went way more than 5 minutes for our mental health check-in. But like we said, we're not really organized on this podcast. It says it in the intro.
Okay.
It is what it is.
I'm saying that right.
Do you have any fun facts or Lidofacts?
Yep, Lidofact's the way to go. I love that we came up with that. So it's like a Snapple fact. You pop open the Snapple bottle and you get that stupid fact, but ours are going to be Lidofacts, and they're actually going to be pretty good facts, unlike those. Mm-hmm. Well, they're not. I don't know if my fact is great today, but it's just something that people should know about, I guess. So you ready for this? I know ready. I didn't tell you all day what my fact was. You're gonna laugh.
You were so excited to keep it. So let's reveal what it is.
Well, anybody that has Yahoo or Google, basically those home pages, it probably came up in your thing. But did you know? I'm sure you know. But last Monday, so on March 19th, the last male northern white rhino died. I'm pretty sure you knew that, right?
I saw that. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I'm surprised at how many people actually know, but I think it's because of pages like Yahoo and, Google, that actually post it, or it's, on the news.
I saw it on Instagram because, I follow a bunch of people that are, nature conservation, and then, my friend Leonardo
DiCaprio?
Yeah, he posted about it. Jack. Yep, Never Let Go. That movie scarred me.
I still don't understand why both of them couldn't fit on the door.
That's could. That's a whole nother podcast.
I 100% would make sure whoever was with me dying in the water would get on my back. If they both laid on each other's back, if one laid on the other's back, I think that they would make it.
Yeah, and she didn't seem guilty at all, but we digress.
And they could have kept each other a little bit more warm, but whatever. So I didn't finish my fact before you interrupted me.
Well, it's bad.
The last male northern white rhino died on Monday at a conservation park in Kenya. Mm-hmm. So, you might think, it was poaching or blah, 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 or why, did it happen? But it was basically following a series of infectious events or other health problems. And he was an elderly rhino. He was 45 years old. So they sort of expected him to die, within the next decade at least. Mm-hmm. The only other two northern white rhinos that are living currently are his daughter, Najin. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. Are Fatu, which is his granddaughter. So the daughter and the granddaughter are the only ones left. And basically, they do have sperm, at some facility somewhere. There's a sperm bank of other northern white rhinos. But they've tried to already breed or impregnate the two females with this sperm, and neither of them can carry out a pregnancy to term. So that's their dilemma. So basically they're out of any hope at this point for the two females. I thought it was interesting, though, that there's researchers looking into new technologies of trying to figure out how to take stem cells from these other northern male white rhinos that they have at some place in San Diego, and they're going to try to take the stem cells and then take stem cells from the females and create a new stem cell line or something along that line to be able to bring them back. But as of right now, it looks like the northern white rhinos not gonna make it, which is a little depressing, but
all right, Debbie Downer.
I think it was a fact that everyone should know about. It's interesting.
That's pretty cool. It sounds a little Jurassic Parky to me, but you know what?
Don't even get me started on my favorite movie.
Jurassic Park is a good one. Well, you really did your research on that fact.
I'm trying to be not as unprepared as last time with my 2 bottles of wine or whatever, and just splurting out whatever came to my mind. But
when I came, when we were looking at Lidofacts, I came up with mine for today. I didn't do that much research, and my Lidofact. My
research was going online and typing animal news, that. You think so much. Well, I read one full page. A whole article, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's great research.
I mean, it's more than mine. My fact is that it's impossible to fold a square piece of paper more than 7 times in half.
I've tried this before, not to let you down, but it's hard. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you try it after you read that, or?
No.
All right, let me see if I... So you got a phone... We can't do it?
Well, I mean...
I've tried it before, so I guess I don't have to.
Maybe everybody...
the noise with the paper. Everyone try it at home.
Yeah,
pause
everybody,
this video.
everybody listening can try it and then comment on Instagram.
Everyone's going to be like, shitty facts. Like, I already tried the paper thing, and I already heard about the white rhino, next.
Maybe we'll give more vet ones. If that's what you guys want to hear and you want to hear more vet facts, we're happy to provide. So just comment.
I'll give a vet fact.
Let us know, what you want.
I already gave you 2 things about animals, walking the dog and the white rhinos. Like, that's enough for me. Like, my whole day was...
Well, all right. So we're, I guess, getting to what this episode was going to be about, which when we were coming up with topics for the podcast, we came up with one, talking about, I feel like I would like to think I would be able to survive in certain situations. And we came up with a couple.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we came up with a couple situations. One was, I think it started off talking about the zombie apocalypse.
It could have, yeah. It could have been that's when we brought it. I thought it was when we went to the Levee, all of us. All of us and the students.
It certainly could be when we went to the Levee because they were worried about the possibility of catastrophic levee failure. It
can happen. Floods here every damn day.
Do you think you would survive?
100% would survive. Is that a question?
Well,
for a tourist to not survive is like you got to be a pretty shitty tourist.
Well,
tourist as an astrology sign, not like a tourist in Louisiana. Get it? Tourist versus tourist.
It's true.
You don't like that joke?
What if I thought it was good? What if you were in a building and it was catastrophic levee failure and remember we would have to climb up. You'd have to know where all the stairwells are and be aware of your surroundings at all times because if you weren't, it'd be like Titanic, but when you were in steerage.
That's what I was just thinking. That scenario, if I got pushed up to a gate. Like in Titanic, it was a metal gate, and then you're flung up to it with water, and you're gotta take a huge breath and go underwater and try to find a key on the other side, and then open your eyes. Hey, have you opened your eyes in a pool or in the ocean before?
Yeah,
it's not. You can't see crap.
It hurts.
It's you see a big fuzzball. I don't know how all these movies open their eyes and you could. It's they have crystal clear vision. Oh, there's the key, and here's the door, and here's the lock. I can't see anything when I open my eyes underwater. I have a fear of having to do that.
I completely agree.
So I guess I don't know if I'd survive every obstacle.
So catastrophic levee failure, I guess it would kind of depend on where you were.
If it was you or something, say it was me and you, and one of us could push the other one down to get over an obstacle and survive.
You because I'm shorter than you, so
I know,
you would push me down.
I feel bad though.
Aw. You'd feel bad pushing me down to survive?
I would definitely start drinking a lot heavier in the future if that happened to me. And I had to push you down and you didn't survive.
Oh.
Also, what do you think? Would you choose me or one of your dogs? So I was just seeing my dog here and I'm in a natural disaster and they're I feel people just throw pets aside and they're oh, screw, not screw them, but people are the ones that have rights, really. Would you save me or your dog? If it was
both.
You couldn't. Okay, I hate when people do this kind of shit. It's you have one option. That's all. Do you hear the words one option? Me or your pet? I'm only giving you one of your dogs, by the way, not 3 of them.
Oh, well, so yeah. Three would be
one human person that just got through vet school and went through hell, or your one dog?
Probably you.
Okay.
Because I think
because
that
we have a
as much as
and we can't let people down, the dog's not going to talk.
Exactly. And also I feel they would survive.
That was a crappy answer.
I know. I don't.
If that makes you sleep at night tonight, go for it.
It's a hard answer, but I think you're right. I would choose you. I think everybody. It's hard to answer these questions until you're in that situation, and hopefully we never have to make that decision. This is sad though,
but I feel I might take my dog.
Oh my god!
No, but if there was multiple people, then I couldn't choose one.
Maybe this podcast isn't going to be so long lived.
No, but I just look at her. She's a little old lady. Maybe I do. I'm smart in a way, with process, reasoning myself, and I'd be you know what? She had a good life. I gave her a few good years. I adopted her. She's a rescue dog from the Caribbean, FYI, people. and her name's Mame, like edamame. Me and my friend were drinking some wine. Obviously, that's what I do. And she was a stray in our complex, and we were eating edamame and drinking wine, and we were like, let's call her Mame. So,
Perfect.
And now ever since she's been by my side, she thinks we're married, but she has a lot to learn. But yeah, so I gave her a good life.
She thinks you're married, but you never had a ceremony.
So I would choose you. No, I never put a
Okay.
ring on that.
Well, I appreciate that after you went the other way and roundabout, but came back.
Yeah, I tried to redeem myself a little. My cat, I don't know how it happened. Cats are better. They can climb. I would let him I'd see him in the
Cats
outside.
act like they can't do anything, but they're going to outlive us all.
Well, he does only have one eye, though, now, so that might be a little bit of a problem for him.
I think he'll make
He's had a good life, too. I've had him like 10 years. I love my pets, don't get me wrong. But
we all do, right? That's part of why we got into this profession.
I hope so if I'm in the vet field.
That's true.
No, I love animals. That's probably why we have too much empathy.
It's true.
That's why we need a podcast to vet.
Yeah.
And everyone needs a podcast.
Yep. Everyone does.
Everyone.
So catastrophic levee failure. Answer: could we survive? It depends on where you are.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. If you're in a building, if you're right next to when the water breaks, I don't know. Next, I don't know if that's my favorite topic of all.
Yeah, that's not my favorite one. But what about? What about sharks in the water?
Sharks is my biggest fear. So I don't even know if I can talk about sharks, to be honest. Like sharks, see a shark. If I even think of a shark, I on a screen. So, and it's like, how do you hit a shark in the water? Like, say you had a shark that was you're supposed to hit them in the eye or the head. Have you tried to move underwater very fast? It's like slow motion.
Yeah.
The shark could be like, oh, thanks for tapping me on the face. You know what I mean? How the heck are you supposed to hit it hard enough to get it away from you? Being bitten by a shark in the water is my biggest fear.
Well, you have a greater chance of getting hit by lightning.
Yeah, you have a greater chance at anything. My walls could collapse on us right now. Could be on the news tomorrow. Anything could happen.
Maybe. They probably wouldn't find us for a while.
I know why I'm afraid of sharks. It's because I went to Cape Cod when I was young, and I was in middle school. We went with 3 neighborhood families, and we all went to this house in Cape Cod, and I was in the water and blah blah blah. And then that night all the kids decided to watch Jaws, and I watched Jaws, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was filmed, and it was about the area that I was in, Massachusetts, Cape Cod. And ever since then I've been petrified.
Based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, everything's a true story if you want it to be.
That's true. They always say that there's 3 sides to the story. Your version, their version, and the truth. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not the truth. So would you survive?
Sharks in the water. Again. You know what? I probably wouldn't. I feel like that's one situation where we do not have the advantage.
Well, what if there were sharks in the levee, in the water, and then they came over with the levee? So then, if the water recedes and they figure it out, then I know they're not going to be there. It's not salt water, but I'm just saying anything can happen in this.
I guess I was thinking of, and I haven't seen the movie, so I have no idea what it's actually about beyond what I saw in the trailer. But
for Jaws?
No. That movie
Sharknado?
No, The Shallows with Blake Lively.
That's the least most popular shark movie. If you were, I'm like,
I was girl crushing on Blake Lively earlier.
I'm sure,
and I just feel like I want to be friends with her. Anyway,
The Shallows. What the hell is The Shallows?
She's a surfer or something, and then gets stuck surrounded by sharks.
That's a true story.
I don't know what happens. I assume that she survives, or they wouldn't have made a movie about it. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I know. You want me to tell you?
You saw
I think she gets her arm ripped off or her leg or something. Some body extremity is ripped off, and she's if I got my arm or leg ripped off, I'd be like, okay, just take me. I don't have the energy to fight. I barely have the energy to walk my dog. You're going to tell me to fight a shark and swim back and survive and have a movie about me?
You'd probably be bleeding profusely.
Yeah, to draw in more sharks.
Yeah.
So you're just free for all.
Yeah.
Feeding ground.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I would survive that situation.
So this whole topic, it basically exists because you like Blake Lively. That's what we decided?
No, I think you were the one who came up with sharks in the water.
I didn't come up with any of these topics. That's the crazy thing. So that's where the only one I came up with is the zombie one, which is the next one. So
Well,
which 100% I would survive in a zombie apocalypse. I would survive on The Walking Dead. I'd survive in a heartbeat.
You would?
I think I was talking about that with Karen today.
Mm-hmm.
I love the name Karen. It's not such a great... It's like a meme name, or it's just like... Maybe it's the K, Karen, K, Kevin. I just think it sounds so like hip and... I don't know. But anyway, we were walking down the halls. We've got our DDP, Diet Dr. Pepper. You gave me that today. I love it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I actually stole that from Rashida.
Really?
Yeah, she said said DDP.
It sounds so like sophisticated and like an army like slang or something. I don't know.
Well, I give her the credit for that one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rashida.
So I was talking with Karen. I'm just going to say her name 100 times. And so I was saying, we both felt, I feel so immune to like violence and like, I don't know, like war and like, murder and all that stuff that I feel like if it came down to it, I could so much easier like harm someone if I need to defend myself. Like, I don't think I would even think twice about it. Like, I think if there was a zombie or like, say I like walked out of my apartment and there was like 50 zombies and everyone was just like starting to transform into like the, Walking Dead character, like I would go batshit crazy. Like I would whip like a stick or I'd like break someone's deck, like and take a big piece of wood and start stabbing things to death. It's like, I'm going to defend myself.
All right, Buffy.
Yeah. I'd probably be screaming and running the other way and lock myself in my apartment and look for my bottle of wine.
Like
but
Shaun
I wouldn't survive.
Dead.
I wouldn't survive a long time in like Walking Dead. Like, like all like locked up in a house for a few days with no wine. Once the wine ran out, I'd be like, okay,
take me now.
Like we got to figure something out. Like I'd send the youngest ones out and I'd be like, I'm your elder. Like let's figure it out. But I think I could survive. I think it's a big, I don't know if it's a problem, but I think there's definitely a difference in all these shows and stuff now that promote or just show violence and stuff. I think in the zombie apocalypse, after seeing The Walking Dead every season, every episode, I know what to do now.
All right.
Pretty much. What about you?
I feel like I would like to think I'd be able to survive in a zombie apocalypse. Again, I think the key to survival in the zombie apocalypse is actually teaming up with the right people. I think one person alone. Well, yeah.
I hope you would have me on your team. I said you're on my team the last episode.
I've been silently assembling my team in my head for the past couple years.
Who's on your team? Like, if I'm on your team, I also would like a say.
Well, I feel like, okay, I would definitely need...
Is this for the zombie apocalypse, or that's the only one we care about? That's the one that can actually come true.
Is there another one?
No, I guess not.
I mean, isn't
what other type of apocalypse is there besides the zombie one? That's the only one I can think of.
Nuclear war.
I guess vampires, but that's like more fair. I think vampires exist, but
you do.
Mm-hmm. True Blood too. That like I know what to do. I got in contact with a vampire.
You did?
No, I'm saying I would know what to do. Obviously not. Well, I guess I think they're real. So maybe I am one.
I don't know. I don't know.
But what other type of apocalypse then?
Like after nuclear war.
Oh, but that's too real. Like we need we're trying to go zombie. Like.
Okay.
Like something that seems so not able to come true. That's the thing that you want to know if you can survive. Like, because you've thought before. If there's a nuclear
Oh, here you go. Would you be able to survive the Hunger Games?
Oh, that I've thought about a lot, to be honest. I've thought about that a lot. The Hunger Games is open up my mind. The Hunger Games is real too. You think
it's
about
starting to happen.
Every time I look at the sky now, I'm like, is that television? Not television, screens, showing, is the weather all screens and they're controlling it all and watching
Are we in the Truman Show?
I don't know. The Hunger Games, see, that's right. I don't know if I'd survive the Hunger Games.
Yeah, well, I think that would be...
I would just pick the hottest people to be with, as all the people in the Hunger Games seem pretty hot, don't you think?
Yeah, they're all pretty good looking, I would say.
So at the end of the day, if I knew I had 1 in 10 or 20 chance, I'd want the hottest people around me. Wouldn't you?
Just to die surrounded by beauty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't that what life's about?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Hunger Games, I too have thought about,
Are you thinking
could
about
I
what's
survive?
her name from the movie, The Shallows?
Blake Lively?
Yeah,
no.
Since I was bringing up hot people.
No, I was thinking of Jennifer Lawrence. Also have a girl crush on her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I just want to be best friends with her.
Well, I thought we were best friends. So, it's already a problem for me. Like, that's how much I love her.
Wow.
So I already thought we were on that level. I'm already a step ahead of you. Her voice has that raspy, like she seems like she could sit here, pet the dog or cat. I don't know what her preference is, but have a glass of wine or a bottle like me.
Uh-huh.
And then we'd go out to, like, I don't know, a hookah bar or something. And she'd, like, bitch about all the other celebrities. And I'd be like, you're on my team.
But I'm also on your team. So
yeah, you're also on my team. Yes, you come too.
And okay, thank you.
So what was the point of that? Jennifer Lawrence?
The Hunger Games and could we survive? And I said, I too have thought about, could I survive in the Hunger Games? And I think I could. Like, I feel like I've taken enough. Like, I did martial arts growing up in vet school. I did some mixed martial arts classes just for fun. That's like the sorest I've ever been in my life. Jiu-jitsu is no joke.
Maybe I should be doing that.
Jiu-jitsu is like,
like, are you sore in all the right places?
Yeah, and then some. You're like, I didn't even know I had a muscle there.
See, that's what I want. That's what I need to start targeting, those muscles.
But it kind of made me feel like a badass, and it made me step way out of my comfort zone. So I feel like the skills that I gained from there and being able to take that, I feel like I'd have a decent chance. I don't know if I'd win the Hunger Games.
I think we'd be a good pair. You don't have to pair up into a guy. Like, we would go ballistic and get to the end. I know if I had you on my team, like, I would go crazy with you on people.
Yeah. Be like Donkey Kong.
But then all I would have in the end of the day is, like, make sure you survived, and then I could reason with killing the rest of the people.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But I also pictured you while you were talking. I pictured you in, like, obviously a black, like, leather.
Duh.
Is it leather, black, like, tight skin outfit, and then, like, a bow and arrow. Like, I feel like that would be your skill.
You'd be like I'd be an archer,
and your hair would be up. It'd be like the red hair up in, like, a ponytail, and it'd be like you'd be drawing back the bow and then fling it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't really describe it to people, like, with words, but
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I have a good visual, yeah.
I drew my hand back like the bow and arrow if people, want to know what I was doing, but.
Yeah. I think that's, no, that's called draw.
How do you even know that?
I don't know. I told you I'm full of random facts sometimes.
Well, I have random facts.
So, like, when you put the arrow in, it's notch, and then you, like, draw back, and that's draw. Like, pull back the...
Okay. So you draw back on the notch?
No, notch is you put the arrow in place and then draw as you pull it back.
I guess that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
What do you think I'd be?
I feel like I could see you with swords.
Swords?
Yeah.
Swords?
No, swords, because...
What is a sword?
It's a sword.
Sounds like a spoon.
It's a sword. It's a sword. But I say it that way because Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL with Sean Connery, so like old ones, there was one category once that was called S-words. Mm-hmm. And, Will Ferrell was Alex Trebek, and Sean Connery was just to basically torture Alex Trebek. And so... instead of saying S words, he said, I'll take swords for 200 or whatever. That's a really bad Scottish accent. Just go with it. Can you do a Scottish accent?
K-U-S.
No, that's...
Can I just get my paper so I can at least know how to say it for people?
If you want to.
It'll just help me.
But anyway, that's what swords came from. So I say swords because I just think it's funny.
All right.
So I feel like you would be on, you'd have swords. You'd have like two swords. Like
two swords? Yeah, that's confident. All right.
It's like
if
crossing.
That's what you think I'll be. Equeoque. That's how you say it. That means it is what it is in Italian.
It is what it is.
Hopefully. That's what Google Translate told me. Like, that's reliable.
Okay. Well, moving on, I think, so, okay. We would.
Do you see me as like a very masculine buff guy then with the swords?
No, I just feel like you're tall and lanky, and you.
I couldn't even lift up the sword, let alone two.
You have speed on your side.
You see, like my arms are like these little things. I don't got much bicep here.
You don't need to be fast.
They'd have to be little swords.
Your speed is quick. Or you're.
I'm not talking about the speed. I'm trying to throw a sword.
No, you don't throw swords.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to fight with a sword.
You'd be fast. Like, that's part of your
I'd have good agility?
Yes.
With my weapon.
Yeah, but like in general.
I know what you're trying to say.
So, okay. To recap, catastrophic Levee failure, it would depend.
Yeah, but I think we took it just into like Titanic mode, like locked in a. But yeah.
Sharks, no, we would definitely die.
No, definitely. I'd just surrender.
Zombie apocalypse, depends on your team.
No, I 100% would.
Okay.
Speak for yourself.
I'm just saying, I think it would be hard on your own. But I would team up. That would be my strategy. Have you watched
all of The Walking Dead?
I don't watch that.
That's why.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a new show to start watching this weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
Doesn't watch Walking Dead.
And then Hunger Games definitely have a decent chance. Maybe not win, but would have a decent chance.
I would love to be that, like a character of that with you for Halloween or something.
Okay, we can arrange that.
Tag Jennifer Lawrence. Maybe she'll hit us up.
Maybe.
Hey, girl.
Speaking of Halloween costumes, that kind of transition into our next topic that we were going to touch on. So
hold on, I just need a little bit more before we talk about this.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite Halloween costumes. So this past year, as you know, we went as a group costume. Me and some friends, and we were Britney Spears, different versions of Britney Spears.
If I knew, like, last week when I told you when I fell in love with you, it would have been 6 months ahead of that if I had realized that was you in the Britney Spears costume.
It was me.
Oops, I did it again.
Britney. And
it's Britney, bitch.
It is. But I made my own costume one year.
You made that costume?
No, not the Britney Spears costume.
I was like, wow, like you definitely are doing too much.
I liked to come up with cool Halloween costumes. I'm definitely not like an expert or like really good at it, but it's good enough for me, whatever.
Professional?
Yeah, that works.
I think you were trying to look for a word and you were.
I think I was thinking cosplayers, like those ones that go like so elaborate.
I don't really know that word. What is it called?
Cosplay.
Cosplay?
Like it's for costume, like COS, like COS, for costume play. So they call it cosplay, and people like go all out and dress up. But anyway, so I'm not
$1,000 to spend on a costume.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in a year, get back to me.
Maybe
in 4 for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't know how much longer you have.
Hopefully not 4 years. Only 2. But anyway, I made one year. I made a Daenerys Stormborn costume from season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Daenerys is like, if you want to talk about a character, I'd be. When
she was like Dothraki, though.
Okay.
So,
all right, I see it. Not my favorite time in her life. That
I know, but it was like the beginning. So I assume. I mean, I know you watch Game of Thrones, and what are your thoughts on it?
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is up with HBO not coming back till 2019 with Game of Thrones?
I don't know.
First off, I think it's bullshit. I feel like, I don't know what I can do personally, but I think it's very upsetting. And I think, it's affecting my mental health in general. Every day that I think about it, even bringing up the name Game of Thrones gives me like heart palpitations, but bullshit. That's all I have to say, really. Bullshit.
I agree. I'm still curious, though. Like, I know there's only 6 episodes in this last season. I know. I know.
No, you just remind the whole other thing that I couldn't think of today is like, what the hell is up with 6 episodes? I remember I got to the last episode and I was like texting someone. They're like, "Oh, this is the season finale." I'm like, "What do you mean the season finale? It's episode 6." They're like, "Yeah, it's the last one." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then I was like, "Nothing happened this season." I felt
nothing happened.
Everyone says that when I say that, but I feel like the whole time it was just like 4 episodes of crap, and then last episode it was like
no. It was.
The whole wall comes down. Like, that's pretty much it.
It was finally everything that they've been talking about for the past 6 years started happening.
Okay, yeah.
Everything started happening. And it was actually really exciting, and it was sometimes overwhelming. And I remember one time...
what's overwhelming is that it's not coming back till 2019. That's what's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
Talk about overwhelming.
It's very...
Sorry, keep
overwhelming. So we would have viewing parties at my house, and we'd get a bunch of people and we'd just all come over. I would throw the dogs outside in the backyard. And there was one time I was fostering this dog that came in through the hospital, and he was he's he was maybe 6-month-year-old puppy or something, or 6-month-year-old puppy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sleep deprivation is real, people. Sleep deprivation is real.
Are you kidding me? You got 12 hours of sleep last night.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
No, I got called twice. I got called twice because I was on call. I got a total of maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. So,
God.
Yeah, think twice about residency life. We'll talk about that later.
You've been a great example for me as why not to go down that route. Not you, like everyone, basically.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Anyway, it's temporary. But so during this, I can't remember what episode it was, but it was a very intense scene, and we're all glued to television, and the dogs were quiet outside. Everything was like, I kind of forgot that they were out there, but all of a sudden, like that foster puppy, like runs and launches himself on the side, like sliding glass door. And like out of nowhere. So all of a sudden we just hear like boom, and he like hits the door, and we all jumped because it was like this really tense moment in the episode. And we were just,
oh my God.
It was really funny. And I don't think any of us were expecting it, but, yeah, Game of Thrones, it's fun. It's fun to watch with a lot of people. It's fun to think of the different theories and what the hell is going to happen. I think they're all going to probably die in the end, and then it's going to be like, oh, it was just a dream. Kind of like Lost was.
No, I never watched Lost.
Oh, it's a great show. It was.
It's like it was until it took Gilligan's Island, I felt.
No,
it's like a little beneath me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not beneath me.
You have such high standards.
I just like to joke, so I just never got into it. I kid. I'm saying it different every time. Maybe one of them's right. That reminds me, though, the Game of Thrones, like you said, I've gotten invited to a lot of parties, like watching different episodes or like different award shows, and it's like I get very like I want to be immersed in it, or like almost like in a movie theater where like I don't want to hear a peep out of anyone. Like I don't want you on your phone, I don't want you like texting, I don't want to hear you whispering to your friend. Like I just like the reason I like shows like that are so much is because of the way it's filmed and directed, that I feel like I'm in it. So it's like when I go to places like that, I feel like it's like a big like raucous or a route, whatever you say.
Ruckus.
Yeah, ruckus. And like everyone's like talking and blah blah, and then I can't just like get into the actual.
Gotcha.
Like my friend Laura, like I'll go to her house and she always wants me to come over for shows, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I should be saying this, but like in my head, I've told her this. In my head, I'm like, no, I like don't talk to me. Don't be like, oh, I can't believe they just did that. Like maybe one word every 15 minutes I'll let you say. Like, but like I don't want anything. Like I want to be in that fucking scene.
I like it.
Am I the only one that thinks that?
No. I don't think so.
So, or I'll go to the party and watch it again on my own.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, on that note, Game of Thrones, it's time.
We might have to talk about Game of Thrones again.
You think? When I asked you earlier today, you said, "I don't know what else I'm going to say about Game of Thrones."
Half of what I wanted to, but
I don't get. You're like, I don't get into the theories. That's too deep for me.
I just was embarrassed. Like I wouldn't know them that much, but
that's okay. I'm not claiming to be an expert or know them a lot either, but.
You're a surgeon. You're an expert in everything.
No, I'm not. Fake it till you make it. That's
fake it till you become it. Didn't I tell you this the other day? Or maybe it was someone else. It's not fake it till you make it. Watch the TED Talk on fake it till you become it.
You did.
That changed my life for every exam I ever took. So every bad grade, I was like, no, keep faking it. And then I eventually became it, and I made the grades.
Okay,
and I got good grades.
I guess we're all just a bunch of fakers.
We can extend it a little. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think that's about it.
Who would you be? Maybe should we do fast facts?
Oh,
or not fast, or rapid fire questions. I'm going to start.
Rapid fire questions? Okay.
Who would you be in Game of Thrones?
Like, who would I be in Game of Thrones? Yeah. Arya.
Arya?
Mm-hmm.
Arya? Okay.
Yeah.
This is my least favorite character, but people were talking about it today, Game of Thrones, and I was like, ugh, Arya. Don't message...
Who would you be in Game of Thrones?
Jon Snow.
That's not the answer you gave me earlier.
I know, all right, fine. Well, I was just thinking if I was a male character, I guess if I like switched genders, I would.
Okay, well we can do that. We can do that question.
No.
Okay. So you would want to be Jon Snow.
I guess I was just maybe like.
If you had to switch genders, then who would you be?
No, I can switch genders. I think I'd be the male version of Cersei to an extent. Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Not even a question, actually, about it.
If I had to switch genders,
well, again,
I would
subjects.
be... No, he dies. I would be the Red Viper.
Okay.
Or Oberyn.
I was going to say Oberyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aw,
he's pretty
cute.
badass.
Yeah. That's cute.
Okay.
Well, I asked that. Now you have to ask me a question.
Okay.
Oh, does that count?
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
Gouda.
Why?
What?
Why?
Well, there's something about, I don't know. Actually, how do you describe cheese? It's just my favorite. But, like, anytime I go to a wedding and they have a cheese bar, it's like game over.
Classy.
Like, I'm just standing there the whole time looking like the little secret fat kid that, like, clearly has a problem, and I just stand there and eat all the cheese and then don't eat my main meal.
Exactly.
I love weddings just for that fact. Cheese
bars? Not the cake, not the dancing.
Nothing. Just
not
for the
love
cheese.
Story.
Literally, when I think
cheese.
of a wedding, I'm like, oh my god, I hope they have a cheese bar. Or platter, whatever you want to call it. What's your favorite time of day?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I feel like you can either wake up from a nap, start a nap, or you can be like, I'm going to be reading in my reading nook in my cozy home, or you could be like in the middle of an intense meeting. Like, there's just a lot of fun things that can happen at 2 p.m.
That might have just given me a little bit of a different perspective on 2 p.m., like the middle of the day.
But it's not like you're past noon and you're like, okay, we got this. We can do this. We're almost done working. It's a good time. You kind of ramp back up.
All right.
Plus, it's like you can eat second lunch.
Yeah, true.
Or a snack.
Or get your DDP.
Or get a
Dr.
DDP.
Pepper.
Yep. DDP.
Thanks, Rashida. Now it's my turn. It's hard to think of a question that quick.
If you had to be one accessory, what would you be? Oh, God.
An accessory?
Yeah.
An accessory?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's, like, a little bit intense. An accessory? Like, I can't even think of what accessories are at the moment. I can't even think. I'm, like, trying to stall. I would want to be a woman's purse. You know why? Because first, there's so much shit that goes into a woman's purse that I feel like it would just be constant, like, it would be like enrichment. You know, like you give enrichment to like animals to like keep them entertained and stuff all the time?
Yeah.
I'd be having like news magazines, like US Weekly, so I would know about like what was happening with the Kardashians, or like my new season of Game of Thrones, like coming out in 2019. Or I would get like, who the hell knows? What else would be in a woman's purse, first off? I wouldn't really care about the tampon and stuff. I'd be like, oh, she's trying out a new like type of lipstick this week. Like, not a good one for you. That's like, you know, I'd be judging based on that.
You'd be surprised. I mean, there's a lot of things that women keep in their purse. It's our secret source of power.
That's why I think it'd be exciting. Of all the accessories, I guess, you know, they got money in there, the phone. I could see who's calling when it starts ringing, or the text messages they're getting.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, like she's talking smack about Stacy in upstate New York and blah, blah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or she doesn't like Donna's kids, or, you know, anything. I don't know where Donna came from.
Fucking Donna's kids.
Yeah, fucking Donna. But that's what I want to be.
That's a great answer.
That's a great accessory. If you, let me see. If you had to die at like age 50, would you rather have lived a life and found love, been successful in your career, or been close to your family?
Those are the only, you can't have.
Those are the only options. I think on the go, and that was pretty good options.
That was, wow.
And they're very specific, so you're like losing something if you gain the other. You know what I mean?
I would probably have to choose family.
Oh, great answer. Oh, that just hits the Taurus heartstrings in me. That's what
Taurus and Capricorn. Forever.
Just great family people.
Well, on that note,
did you want to elaborate on that or no?
I mean, I just feel
family.
I just feel like family would be a good. I mean, success doesn't really matter in the end. You can't take that with you. Not like you can take your family with you. Love is something you have with your family.
Oh my God.
And I mean, you have to have somebody to haunt after you pass on. So family it is.
Amen. Amen, aho, and so it is.
Oh.
We're gonna go into the full moon and stuff.
Oh, that's
what
true.
we did, right?
Yep. Now we got our crystals here every time we record. We have our crystals.
Our full moon wine, our 7 moons, or whatever you want to call it.
True. And I guess on that note, we're gonna leave you guys. But if you like the podcast, I guess let us know. If you didn't like it,
know. Let Jennifer Lawrence know.
Kardashians,
HBO,
Game of
Karen,
Thrones,
let everyone know.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, definitely
Everyone.
Blake Lively. Leonardo. Kate Winslet. Let's not even go into Kate Winslet. Like, that's my ultimate Blake Lively right there.
But yeah, you guys can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at the Lidocaine Drip. And I guess we'll see you next time.
We'll keep it on.